So, you know what I wanted to talk to you guys about today? And if you can hear any little background noise, it's because we have my whole team down there. Well, we're missing a few, but I have my team down there and they're all laughing and screaming. So, great vibes going on in the background. I wanted to do a Christmas episode for you guys. So, firstly, Merry Christmas. That not only gives you a few ideas of what to do if you're having a less than ideal Christmas, which I've had a few of, so I really know how shit they feel, especially as somebody that adores Christmas. And then I also wanted to give you guys a bit of a Christmas meditation. So if you want to just fast forward to the Christmas meditation, we'll put the timestamp in the description so you can just fast forward to it. Otherwise, if you want to listen to the whole thing, the first time, listen to it all. And then, of course, you can just come back to it later in the day if you need to today on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas, to then just recenter and drop back into the meditation. So my first year of having, well, actually, it ended up being a really nice Christmas, but it was still not what I necessarily perfectly wanted, but I ended up manifesting a beautiful Christmas in Salzburg in Switzerland. But I will say that the lead up to that, I really thought I was going to have a Christmas alone. And I kind of prepared for that really all of November and December. And then the next year I was living in New York, and this is 2021. And I also had a less than ideal Christmas. I actually had a surgery 2 days before Christmas on my knee. And it ended up being fine. I ended up having some new friends and her family come over, and I cooked and everything. But for me, it's also about the lead up to Christmas. And it can be a sad time of year when you don't have the things that you want around you, or the people, or the love, or the friendships, or you're in a different country. And I really know how that feels. It can feel extremely lonely, especially because it's just such a romantic time of year, such a romantic time of year. And you really want to just be in love and be with your loved ones and whatnot. So a couple of things that I did is that I didn't hold myself back from experiencing Christmas. So a lot of days after work, this was when I was living in London. That was my first year of being alone for Christmas. And then without my family and close friends. Well, really, I just spend most of my Christmas with my family, but that was my first year without my family. And then my second year without my family was in New York. So what I did both times is I didn't hold myself back from experiencing Christmassy things. I know, of course, it can feel kind of a bit shitty when you go to these things alone and you're like, I really wish I was here with somebody. But let me just tell you, it feels way worse to not go to those things and then be upset and pissed off and mad that you didn't get to go and see the Rockettes, or you didn't go and see the Christmas lights or whatever it is, because you didn't have someone to go with. If your mindset about life is, well, I didn't go and do that thing because I didn't have someone to do it with, wrong mindset to have. Go, especially if you're wanting to also manifest the love of your life, you need to go and do the things that light you up alone, because that is the energy that actually calls in somebody. That is the energy of somebody that has a very secure attachment style. So when I was living in London, I actually had jelly at the time, so we would rug up, and there were multiple days where it was snowing in London, which I just felt so blessed to be able to experience, because it doesn't snow every single year in London. And so I remember us walking around Battersea Park, and he had his little snow puffer on, and I had my big winter coat, and we were just enjoying the snow together. I have goosebumps because I remember, yeah, I was alone, but it was so magical. It was so magical. And instead of always needing to tell that to somebody else and send the energy outwards from yourself, I really received that experience. I actually was walking around Battersea Park and just really soaking in the snowflakes on me and just being in pure joy and allowing myself to experience that for myself. And I think sometimes we can really rush to always expend our energy outwards, where we're telling everybody about our lives. We are, just letting everybody give their 2 cents on what we're doing or what we're thinking or what our experience is or whatever. And not that that's wrong, but I also encourage you to sometimes, whether it's Christmas time or not, to have an experience where it's just your experience. You don't really need to tell anybody about it. You don't need to include anybody else, because the reality is that sometimes when we include other people in our experience, they can change the experience for us. And it's interesting when we have these experiences fully alone and how much joy we can bring ourselves. So go out and enjoy things even alone, whether it's enjoying the snow, whether it's going skiing alone. I mean, I planned my ski trip where I met my husband. I planned that trip alone, and it just so happened that my parents ended up being like, "We're coming to see you earlier. Can we come on your ski trip?" And I was like, "Sure, I've got a house big enough so you guys can come." But I planned that alone. Like, I've very much been this person where I have trained myself to not limit my life because I am alone. And I'm not one of those people. I don't have a massive friendship group. I don't have all these friends that are like traveling around with me. I traveled alone a lot. I travel alone, not really a lot anymore because now I have Hal, but when it came to Christmas, a few times a week, like living in New York as well, and then also in London, I would walk or train up to around like Saks to Times Square, kind of, Rockefeller Center in New York City. And I would just walk around Saks Fifth Avenue by myself. I would enjoy the light show by myself. Like, I would truly, I'm not lying, it's probably my highlights if you dig, like on my Instagram highlights. I would just walk around the city and really enjoy this time of year alone. And it wasn't lonely because I was actually allowing myself to, being alone doesn't mean that you're lonely, right? They're two separate things. I was alone, but I wasn't lonely. So there was one time in New York where there was a massive snowstorm. Some of you might even remember this. Tell me if you do. There was this massive snowstorm coming into New York, and there'd been like no snow. And so the biggest amount of snow, and when it was really coming down, was at like 3 a.m. So guess who put her alarm on for 2:30? I'm not joking. It must have been, this is right before I met Hal actually. So it would have been like super end of December, very beginning of Jan. I am not joking when I say I literally went outside and walked around New York City at 3 a.m. in the morning with Jelly. I gotta find videos of it. Like, there are videos of me. Maybe we can clip this and I'll get some B-roll. I'll find some of the B-roll and we can put it in the little ad or the trailer for this episode. I have these videos of me just walking around New York City and the snow is coming down. And when I tell you, like, I could cry just from like joy of that, just thinking about this memory. When I tell you, that brought me so much joy. And I was alone. Yeah, I had jelly. I had butter. I think I had butter at that time. Yeah, I did. I definitely had butter at that time. Like, yes, I had them, but I was alone in terms of like that human connection. And it is a memory that I still hold on to and that I'm so fond of. So those of you that are not having an ideal Christmas that you want, don't then just mope around all day. Get up, make yourself a beautiful breakfast, get out of the house, like straight away, go and do something, right? Go and walk around wherever there's Christmas decorations, whether it's all these houses that you live nearby, or drive 10 minutes to walk around them, whether it's going to a mall, whether it's going to someplace in the city so you can see these decorations. Like, go and do something for yourself in the morning. This morning, make sure that you actually dress up for Christmas. Like, put your ugly Christmas sweater on, or if you're in a warmer climate, like, put a beautiful dress on. Maybe you're having some friend time. Maybe you're spending the whole day alone. Can you watch Christmas movies? Can you cook yourself some homemade cookies or brownies or muffins or whatever it is that you want to do, and actually really romanticize this day? Can you reflect, do a bit of New Year's Eve kind of journaling work? If you're not already in the New Year's Eve bundle, you could join the New Year's Eve bundle right now, and that will give you a great thing to do and a really happy thing to do today. You'll get the recording straight away from the live call. You'll get all of the little extra bits that you can be doing today just to put yourself in that good mood. So put a beautiful movie on, make a cozy hot chocolate for yourself. Make sure you actually get out of the house a few times a day and walk around. Make yourself a beautiful, nourishing meal. Maybe you don't need a whole turkey for yourself, but cook a whole chicken. Like, you'll eat that in like 3 days. Cook the whole chicken, right? Make yourself this beautiful, cozy roast and enjoy it. And honestly, if you don't have a dog and you are single or you do feel lonely often, get yourself a dog. Some of you would know this. I'm not joking when I say Jelly saved my life. He saved my sanity. He saved my mental health. And I'm like, could get emotional thinking about it. He truly saved me when I was living in London because I was in such a dark place with being in lockdown for so long and being so separated from my friends and family. And like I've spoken to you guys about in a previous episode, just like it was for so many of us, we remember it was that feeling of not knowing when it was going to end. It wasn't even the lockdown itself. It was the feeling of when is this going to end? And when I got Jelly, my life changed for the better. Like it gave me a reason to get out of the house. I had never spoken to so many people in such a short amount of time, but the amount of friends I've made because of my dogs, the amount of like even just neighbors that I met in London because I had a Jelly, it brought so much human connection getting a dog. And it literally gave me this feeling of like I was sharing an experience with this other being because I truly was. I would take him everywhere with me and it would make me so happy. And I got to just like nurture something else versus feeling like I couldn't give my energy to anything else. Especially as women, we want to give our energy to other things because we naturally are nurturers. So like, and Butter's right here. Like, I'm ready to be nurtured, mummy. So like maybe get yourself a dog today. I'm not even joking. Or decide that tomorrow when the pet stores open, you're going to get yourself a dog because truly that's like the best. The dogs are just the best thing in the world. Highly recommend toy poodles. For those of you that don't know, Butter and Jelly are both toy poodles. I get them cut in a teddy bear haircut, which is what makes them like not look very poodly. They don't shed, they don't stink, they don't like they're hypoallergenic and everything, and they are so tiny, so I can just travel with them anywhere. They both fit in the same dog bag, which is fabulous. And so yeah. Anyway, that was total side note. So really try to create a beautiful day for yourself. Okay, so for those of you, let me just get some water. So for those of you that maybe are having Christmas with your family, but it's still just like not super ideal because of drama that you have with your family or because of the way they treat you or because of just like whatever instances, I completely understand that feeling as well. So how can you make your morning an ideal morning or your evening or whatever pocket of time that you have where you're away from them? How can you make it a really beautiful Christmas day? Or is there something that you can do tomorrow, day after Christmas, Boxing Day? Is there something that you can do after Christmas that's going to allow you to still feel like I got an amazing Christmas day? I got the Christmas day that I wanted. So that's number one. So this morning, right? Hopefully listening to this in the morning as you're kind of getting ready, put yourself into the state of like the energy of I'm going to have an amazing day. So get yourself dressed, curl your hair, put your makeup on, like put some Christmas tunes on. Make yourself an amazing breakfast that you get to enjoy with your partner or your friends or the family member that you do like and the others that you don't, and set yourself an intention of how you're going to show up once you then start to be with your family. So whether it's you're going to just let things brush off your shoulder if they're trying to have digs at you or if they're crossing boundaries or if they're making fun of you, because sometimes the best thing that we can do when it comes to those things is actually not put our foot down because it just creates a fight because the other person like doesn't get it. Sometimes the best thing we can do is actually to use humor. I saw because why I'm saying this is because you don't want to end up draining all of your energy to try and prove a point to somebody that will never, ever open their mind to realizing they're in the wrong. I saw this reel actually the other day. I was like so disturbed by it. So it was this couple doing their gender reveal and they just like shot the confetti out of whatever that apparatus is. And the mum runs over and just hugs her son, as he's going in to hug his wife and like hugs him so hard that she pushes him over onto the sofa behind him. And the wife is just like, I'm assuming it's wife. The wife is just like, what the actual fuck? Like, are you like, it was talk about unhealthy relationship and no boundaries with the mother and the son. And then she was, of course, really upset because it was like that was a really special moment for them. And she just like completely came in and made it about her. It's like, not your baby. She was trying to say to the mum, like her mother-in-law after, like, I really didn't like what you did. Like, I don't understand why you just came in and completely took that moment away from me. She couldn't understand it. So there was a whole fight. And then she was fully gaslighting her. Honey, you're tired. You're hormonal. Why don't you go lie down? And just fully gaslighting her experience. And I was watching this and I'm like, this is what happens for so many of us. If you don't have the boundaries masterclass, you might want to get it like right now and just listen to it on 2 times speed before you go to Christmas lunch or dinner, because that's what happens for so many of us. We really try to to voice ourselves, we try to express our opinion, and the other person just fully can't hear it. They can't listen. They're so in their own ways or their own mindset or thinking that they did nothing wrong because, well, I'm the grandmother. Like, it was a special moment for me too. Like, she can't understand, but it wasn't her moment, right? Could not understand it. And then of course was like, you're just hormonal, go lie down, whatever, whatever. And so in those sorts of situations, like, look, she had every fucking right to put her foot down and I absolutely would have done the same. So this, I'm not saying in this situation use humor because that's totally different. But what I'm saying is when it comes to Christmas lunch or Christmas dinner, you probably want to avoid like blowing out into a fight because then you've had a bad Christmas. Then you haven't had the day that you wanted. So instead of, needing to like put your foot down and draw a boundary and speak up and like blah, 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 if that's going to then just make everybody kind of feel like they're walking on eggshells, or you're going to feel like, oh my God, I could just cut the air with a knife, right? Because like the energy's gone weird because now everybody's like feeling a little bit like, oh, I've been called out. Like it's probably not the time to really call Aunt Susan out for whatever comments she's making to you. So instead, can you brush it off? Can you use humor? Can you just fucking roll your eyes? Can you just be like, yep, still single, probably going to be that woman with like 7 cats, not worried about it. When someone makes a comment of like, when are you meeting a man? I can't believe another year of you still being single, and it's not saying that you're not saying by brushing it off, you're not saying what they're saying is okay. You're just simply protecting your energy. You're just simply not ruining the day for you. You're not engaging, you're not adding fuel to the fire. You're not giving them the attention that they want, right? You're simply just you're literally repeating back to them what they say. Like if someone says to you like, "Oh, you've put on a little bit of weight," you can be like, "Yeah, I have. Like, so have you." And just literally like, it depends on the person, of course, of whether you can use humor like that of, yeah, actually, so have you, you're looking a bit pudgy, or whether you can just brush it, whether you actually just need to like brush it off. So you need to be discerning about that. But I do want to just invite you today to do that, of just being like, yep, okay, and just letting it brush off you and really thinking about like this bubble of protection around you, and any negative energy that comes your way, just let it bounce off you like a trampoline versus needing to really engage with it and like put your foot down. That's for a day after Christmas. It's not for Christmas Day when you're wanting to have a nice day for yourself and protect your energy. All right. Okay. This went from an 8-minute podcast episode to a lot longer than that. Love it. Let's jump into doing a little Christmas meditation for you guys. All right. If you guys want to close down your eyes, allowing yourself to just relax. And you can be listening to this whilst you're doing something else and just kind of like zone out of everything else you're doing and just listen to my words and breathe as you're making an apple pie or stuffing the turkey. Just start to really focus on taking deep breaths and think about breathing in and out through your nose. It's a lot more relaxing to your nervous system. Maybe you want to roll your neck from side to side to stretch out your neck and your upper back. Maybe you want to unbutton your pants so you can just take some really deep belly breaths. Bringing all of your awareness away from what you're doing, away from everything outside of you, and bring your awareness back to yourself, to your body, to you. Remembering that you get to make this day whatever you want it to be. You're the one creating the day. And I know that today can be emotional, it can be triggering, it can feel like a lot sometimes. It might also bring up sadness because you're missing certain people that you would have loved to be here with you. Just allow yourself to come back to your body and remember that you get to be the one creating the day. So on that note, I want you to start to visualize how you would like the day to go. So what would you be doing after you finish this meditation? Can you start to visualize yourself as though you're actually moving through the day? You're in first person, you're in your own body, you're not seeing yourself, you're in your own body, and you're moving through the day. Show up in that energy of her, the woman that you're proud to be. What is she doing? Maybe even visualizing a situation where somebody makes a comment to you and you just let it brush off your shoulders because you want to protect your energy today. You're not letting somebody else bring down your vibe. Maybe you're visualizing yourself experiencing the food that you're eating and really receiving the food, slowing down, savoring every little moment as you eat your food, remembering that there are plenty of leftovers. So you don't need to make yourself feel sick today necessarily. You can also eat some more later or eat some more tomorrow. Maybe you're visualizing your partner or one of your parents just being so loving towards you. It almost kind of shocks you just how beautiful they're being today. Just taking a moment to feel like, wow, today is everything that I wanted it to be and more. How would that feel to have this energy in your body if today is everything I wanted it to be and more? Okay, and now what I want you to do is I want you to imagine there are these pinpricks outside of you of all of your energy that is focused on things that is outside of you. So it's focused on social media or the TV or food or certain people. And it's like your energy isn't focused on you. It's not all in you. Your energy is scattered outside of you. And I want you to just imagine picking up all of these pinpricks, all of these bits of your energy that you've left outside of you. And just on an in-breath, bring it into your body. Let it come all the way back into your body, through the top of your head. It's filling up your body again. And you just feel like, I'm back in myself. The only thing that you're focusing on and that you're aware of is yourself. And just remember that at any point today, you can choose to come back to yourself. You can take your energy away from what's outside of you and come back to you, to feel your body, to calm down your nervous system, to bring the feeling of safety in your body, to come back to your body, and to act from this place of showing up as the person that you're really proud to be. Remember the intention that you've set of how you want today to go, and allow that to actually come to fruition. So take a few breaths. Whenever you feel ready, you can slowly open up your eyes. You can come back to the room. Don't rush back into what you're doing. Can you slowly move back into what you're doing? Remember to breathe today. Remember to drink plenty of water today. Maybe have some ginger shots between meals if you need to today. And most of all, remember to enjoy today. Today is a day of abundance. So eat the food. Enjoy the presents, drink the wine. Don't restrict yourself. And also, don't shame yourself tomorrow or tonight if you do eat a lot. If you do go to bed with a big full belly, that's okay. That's part of the day. Can you allow yourself to actually enjoy that today and consciously choose to go to bed stuffed versus feeling like you've restricted yourself with food, with energy, with spirituality, or your connection to whatever this day means for you, and to your connection with friends? Like, don't go to bed feeling like I've just half-assed it today. Go all in. Enjoy this amazing Christmas day, whether you are alone, whether you're not in the perfect situation for you and like not your ideal Christmas, or whether you're having your ideal Christmas. All right. Breathe, drink water, and have an amazing Christmas day. Also, do not forget to join the New Year's Eve bundle before the end of the year so that you can take advantage of some of the exercises in there to do before the end of the year. It's okay if you forget and you end up buying it next year, but if you can and you're seeing this in time, join it before the end of the year, because there are things in there that you want to do before the end of the year. It's never too late, but you want to do it before the end of the year if you're seeing this in time. And so maybe you don't buy it today, but can you buy it tomorrow, or buy it today really quickly right now as a little gift to yourself, and you're setting the intention of today and the rest of the year and next year.